people in general have higher levels of well-being the more flow experiences they have in their life.
I know you're asking yourself right now, Bodie, where'd your beard go? Well, I shot this a little while ago on a trip out to Wisconsin, and today's video is not about me. It's about music and one-wheeling, how they're good together, how they're good for us. And before I say too much, let's just get right into it with a few interviews from some of my friends.
For me, one-wheeling is, I knew it just looking at my friends doing it. But the first time you get a slight bit of hang of it, it's like, wow, yeah, total flow experience.
Yep. How do you think one wheel and music festivals, like music in general, how do you think that interact?
Well, I mean, the experience of music is kind of that, like, getting into a flow, getting into a groove. It's like finding the beat, especially, with other people. It's about movement, even if you're not, it's like your kind of insides are moving along with the music. And I feel like that's sort of, every time you have overlap between those kind of two practices, when your body's moving and your heart's moving and everything's like kind of, and, with people that you love, it's like, just makes this experience, that much better.
Absolutely.
But I mean, music is just good for the soul, good for the life, good for the mind. I know if you're sitting in your car and you're not listening to music, I don't know what you're doing. So,
for real.
Just listening to music, it just frees your mind. Music and one-wheeling is the best. And like at Float Life Fest, one of my favorite things is when we have bands playing just one-wheel and hanging out. I remember you this year, like coming out, raging as when music was playing. It's always fun to dancing on your one-wheel is lots of fun, especially with lots of friends.
Oh yeah.
I feel more funky on my one wheel than I do just standing around trying to dance. I feel like I'll do more moves on my one wheel dancing than I will just dancing.
Yeah, dude. One-wheeling and music individually are so good for us. They're incredible. They can be life-changing and have changed millions of lives. But when you combine the two of them, you get a state of flow and a state of joy and a state of being that is honestly, truly magical. I prefer to listen to music when I ride. Sometimes I don't. Being in touch with the environment is really good. But combining the two of them, especially while dancing, is a really, really good time. If you haven't danced on your one wheel yet, do it.
Do you feel like your one wheel is not only a tool for transport, but a tool for mental support? Definitely. Being able to get out, even in nature, riding trails, you just get to see so many cool things in just a whole different perspective that you normally wouldn't see.
I like making trails a lot and like making jumps and then just hitting them.
Yeah.
We did a ton of that this year.
You listen to music while you do that?
Yeah.
What's kind of some of your favorite genres you bounce around?
Oh, I listen to a little bit of everything other than country.
Yeah.
I mean, well, with any board sport, you're always going to get into like a flow state, and I feel like the one wheels very quickly gets you there, and immediately you're just like, okay, can take my mind off of whatever else is up in there, and you're focusing about how you're moving, how you're riding, looking at your lines. It takes you out of your mind, puts you in your body squarely, and then you can then you just flow it out. And you can, because all that stuff will still be there when you get back, but it gives you a chance to get away, flow it out, and then come back to it with a new perspective.
It's nice. It's a mind clearer. It's just a good way to get out, see things.
One wheels have the incredible ability to put you directly into the flow state. Something that helps clear your mind, enter your body, let all the things that have been swirling around your head just disappear and connect you with your environment. And I remember seeing on an Angie Huberman podcast a long time ago, him talking about flow state and how scientifically when we move through our environment, we move forward, it releases happiness into our brain because we're moving towards food, towards water is what our brain thinking is, when really we're just having a good time shredding around.
Do you feel like music overall boosts our mental health and well-being?
I'd say so, yeah. I think there's definitely a therapeutic benefit to it in all sorts of ways, in terms of how it sounds to also like what it does for you socially. It can definitely be a very positive thing.
I'm going to say it certainly gave me a boost, but the real epiphany for me was when I attended my first One-Wheel Festival, and that was Float Life Fest. Because all of a sudden, I found myself within this group of people that just resonated with me.
It is boilerplate psychology that people with stronger community, a better social network, live longer and they live happier.
Community is so important in our lives. Being part of a community or a few communities, I think that's why church can be so healing. That's why I think sports can be healing, clubs, book clubs, whatever brings you around other people, especially like-minded people, is extremely healing for the soul. I mean, evolutionarily, for a long time, we were a part of tribes. You know, we weren't on our own. We were a part of tribes. People had jobs, tasks. They celebrated as a community. They mourned as a community. And the fact that music and one-wheeling have such strong communities, some of which is intertwined. And when you go to a music festival or you go to a one-wheel festival, you're instantly a part of this. You're instantly loved by people. Your lives, your realities are bridged by the bridge that is your love for one-wheeling, your love for music. And sure, there's bad apples in any scene, any situation, but I gotta say, the one-wheel community is pretty unlike any other. There is a lot of loving, caring, supportive, graceful, and passionate people that come together around what is one-wheeling.
So when you're riding your one wheel, are you a music listener too, or while you ride, or do you save it?
I can't stand silence. Like, my mind just thinks about too much stuff that really doesn't matter, and it's blame it on the ADHD. Like, I have to almost like have something slightly distracting me so I'm not distracted so much with my own brain. So, yeah.
Yep.
Sometimes, but actually I do enjoy, there is something about hearing, I even like the electronic kind of like whir, the like subtleties, but I mean, it's the woods, just hearing the, that's music for sure. It's like you can find the music in a lot of things.
So I think we could all agree here that music and one wheels are good for you. If you haven't ridden a one wheel yet or somehow don't listen to music, hopefully this video gave you a bit of insight that it is. And I personally have had a life-changing experience getting a one wheel, riding a one wheel, being a part of the community. It's literally my job to ride one wheels, and I feel so incredibly blessed to do so. And what it does for my mind, what it does for me, my ability to drop whatever's going on for me and be right where I am and enjoy what I'm doing, whether it's going out solely to ride or whether it's I'm going from point A to point B and it makes it more fun. One-wheeling has significantly changed my life, and I know it's done the same thing for thousands of people. I've talked to people who literally had their life saved from one-wheeling. It gave them a reason to live. It gave them people to call on. It gave them something for them to go do and walk away from what was going on and weighing heavy on them so they could come back with a different perspective, with a little bit less weight on their shoulders, and enjoy the beauty that is life. At the end of the day, one-wheeling is about having fun, and it's about making memories. Some of my favorite memories are from film trips or one-wheel festivals, and that's truly what this is all about, is enjoying life, making memories, and creating new relationships or building on relationships with those that you love.
And now I'm going to, make more memories in my life with music. Yep. And so, in future I will tell my, kids, yeah, your father have also, lived a good life with music.